The United States housing market is going through a very difficult time and it's affecting everybody, including the Indian immigrants and investors who dream of owning a property in America. Now here, one of the biggest reasons behind slowdown is US President Donald Trump's decision to impose heavy tariffs on imported goods. These tariffs have specifically hit the construction industry, where materials like steel, lumber, and aluminium, many of which come from countries like China and India, are now more expensive. A tariff is basically a kind of tax on goods that are bought into a country from abroad. So, if an American company imports a building material from another country, it has to pay more money, and that extra cost is usually passed on to the home buyers. Trump had once placed a 145% tariff on Chinese goods, though it has now been reduced to 30%. But uncertainty remains, as the US has only finalized a trade deal with the UK, and deals with over 80 other countries, including India, are still pending. In April 2024, new data from the US Census Bureau and the Department of Housing and Urban Development showed that construction of single-family house dropped by 12% as compared to the previous year. Also, permits for the new home construction, which usually predict future building activity, declined by 5.1% from March and by 2.6% from April 2023. Now, this shows that many builders are holding back on starting new projects. Inflation has already made lives very expensive for everybody out there. Grocery, fuel, rent, everything costs more, and high mortgage rates have made it even harder to afford a home. Now, with the rise in building costs due to tariffs, homes are becoming much more expensive, and builders are afraid to take financial risk in such uncertain times. The situation is specifically harder for Indian professionals and families in the US. Many Indian migrants, specifically in IT, healthcare, and engineering, come to the US on work visa and they hope to eventually buy a home. But with rising costs, high loan interest rates, and fewer homes available in the market, many of them are choosing to wait. The cost of living has increased, and inflation has reduced how much people can actually afford. In the meantime, builders say that their suppliers have increased prices because of the tariffs. In a recent survey, nearly 60% of builders said that materials now cost more, and it's making construction projects harder to plan. There is also a lot of confusion in the market, by the way. Trump has delayed tariff for over 80 countries and said that those particular countries could negotiate trade deals. But since most deals haven't been finalized, builders don't know whether tariffs will go up or they will stay low. Now, this has made the entire housing industry very cautious. At the very same time, buyers are scared too. In April, after Trump announced reciprocal tariff, stock markets dipped and people started to worry about a possible recession. As a result, many who wanted to buy a house have postponed their plans, unsure of what's coming next under Trump's rule. Now, from an Indian perspective, then this situation is frustrating too. Many Indians in the US work very hard, save money, hope to own a home as a symbol of their success. But with current conditions, buying a house is no longer a smart or affordable option for many. Even Indian investors looking at the US real estate are holding back because home prices are high and rental incomes isn't keeping up with investment cost. Until there's more stability in the economy and clarity on trade policies and tariffs, the US housing market is likely to stay low. Builders don't want to build, buyers can't afford to buy, and both sides are waiting for better time.